Hey everybody! The other day I made a few posts to Reddit asking for your questions to feature on this Ask Me Anything video. Needless to say, it garnered a lot of attention. I need to throw out a warning to everybody before we begin. These animals are 100% venomous. I am a licensed professional and I've been dealing with venomous reptiles for over a decade. How I interact with my animals might not be the same way others may interact with theirs. Safety is always number one for me and my animals. With that said, let's get into this video. The most upvoted question in this AMA is, why do I keep venomous? The answer is actually quite simple. Most of my favorite snakes just happen to be venomous. I grew up in Arizona, which has the highest density of different rattlesnake species in one place. Being so close to rattlesnakes and just having a love for reptiles, I naturally wanted to learn more. The moment I had the opportunity to work firsthand with rattlesnakes, I took it. But rattlesnakes were just the beginning. I had a love for all things viper. Their colors and patterns were just the most amazing you can find out of all snakes out there. Keeping these snakes teaches me more about them than any book or video. It's about understanding the animal on a personal level. That's an experience you can't get anywhere else. A common misconception is venomous keepers have venomous snakes because it gives them an adrenaline rush. It is just not true. Some of you wondered how many venomous snakes I currently own. Out of the 22 reptiles I have, 13 of them are venomous. This is only true for most of the year. I do breed several types of rattlesnakes, which means there are moments within the year where I can have up to 100 rattlesnakes in my home. The rattlesnake you are currently seeing is one of my western diamondbacks. I also have Mojave green rattlesnakes, Sonoran sidewinders, white speckled rattlesnakes, gaboon viper, Gabino viper, which is a hybrid between the gaboon and rhino, and two baby blue-eyed leucistic monocled cobras. Hobo wants to know what my first haunt was, and out of the ones that I've kept, which have I found the most rewarding? Simply put, my very first haunt that I brought home was a Mojave green rattlesnake. And out of the different venomous species that I keep and have kept in the past, the most rewarding that I've found personally have just been different rattlesnakes. I just have such a passion for them. Lecture wants to know, are there any differences between setups, like non-hots and hots? There are two big differences I want to address. The first is every cage needs to have a lock. Not only is this a safety procedure for you and everyone else, this is also a mental reminder that what you are about to open is very dangerous. The second is how you set up the cage. I prefer types of bowls that you can easily grab with certain types of tongs. I also prefer to be able to have the cage set up in a way where I can easily identify where the snake is hiding when I go in to access the enclosure. Some of you guys sent me paragraphs to read as far as questions go, but time is getting short, so I'm only going to answer one of these questions. What was something I wish I would have known before getting into venomous? Finding a house to rent can be beyond difficult. Anna Goes Bananas wants to know if my neighbors own venomous snakes. The answer is no, and they don't need to know, but my landlord absolutely does. Some of you wanted to know how to get into venomous snakes. I recommend finding a mentor. Some states actually require it. To find a mentor, look to your local Facebook reptile groups, visit a reptile store and ask who they know, or go to the reptile conventions when they come into town. Plenty of people to network with there. Many of you would like to know what would happen if I get bit. I'm about to dive into some pretty controversial territory here, so buckle up. I do have an emergency bite protocol on my wall. The protocol lists which antivenom goes with each snake. There are 2 phone numbers listed, which I'm blocking for security reasons. One is the poison control number, the second is my emergency contact number. I also have first aid steps to follow, a list of don'ts and do's, And if you wanted to see all this for yourself, or the medical procedures for the paramedics, you can visit websites like ProFab for more information. This leads us into anti-venom. Many of you were also curious if I have my own stash of anti-venom. The answer is actually no, but not for the reasons you may think. Here, I'll pull up a bunch of screen grabs from ProFab to kind of emphasize this point. ProFab are the makers of the polyvalent used for North American pit vipers, such as rattlesnakes, cottonmouths, and copperheads. Legitimate sources of anti-venom are only sold to licensed facilities and licensed pharmacies. I mean, there are more sketchy websites that sell anti-venom, but usually at outrageous costs. The problem with these sites is they aren't always trustworthy. Not only do you not know if it's a scam, but you don't know if the anti-venom is even potent, or just if it's expired or not. On top of this, having your own stash of anti-venom doesn't mean you can self-administer. You may be allergic to that anti-venom and die to it faster than the snake's venom. This creates a very difficult situation for hobbyist keepers such as myself. I have my permits to be able to keep, breed, and sell venomous, but I'm not a licensed facility like a zoo, and neither am I a licensed pharmacy like what you'll find at the ER. I apologize to all of you zoo workers out there when hobbyists make poor choices, and now you are in the line of fire when working with your animals. From very controversial YouTubers, and the way they handle their snakes, down to the anti-venom shortages, I have created rules in my animal room that I will never ever freehand a venomous snake, no matter how docile they are. I do have plenty of animals in my room that would allow me to pick them up with my hands if I tried, but I will not. It is not worth the hospital visit, it's not worth risking my life, it's not worth throwing away all that money. Just not gonna do it. That will be a big fat no. My friends, welcome to the world of venomous keeping. There are so many amazing and gorgeous animals out there. There were so many great questions posted, I thought I would have more time to answer them all. What I will do is use some of those unanswered questions to create future content on this channel. I already have one other video posted, that is Tools of the Trade, which showcases all of the different tools I use in my animal room. Other video ideas, inspired by your questions and comments, coming soon: how to find insurance or coverage for snake bites, how to set up a venomous cage, how to handle venomous snakes using the proper tools, and Ask Me Anything Part 2. Some of you really wanted to know my full backstory, so perhaps one of these days I might do that one as well. In the meantime, you guys take care.